You put your place on Airbnb, you're making money, life is good. But as far as Sierra is concerned, your home just became a hotel. When you sell it, you could owe $150,000 in tax even if you lose money on the property itself. And you will not see this coming. I had a client come to me last year, we'll call him John. John is sharp. He's an executive at a major corporation, knows his numbers, pays attention to his money. He owns a home, lived in it for years. That was his principal residence. In January of 2025, he decides to move out, buys another home, but the market is bad. He doesn't want to sell his old home. So he puts it on Airbnb. The place surprisingly makes $100,000 in the first year. It's booked solid. And the World Cup is coming in 2026, so he's expecting to make even more this year. On a property he already owns, he doesn't have to put money into it to improve the property, does not have to take any more debt. Why would you ever stop? Here's why. When John moved out, started renting short-term on Airbnb, Sierra says he changed the use of his property. And when that happens, there's a tax rule that treats it as if he sold the property to himself at whatever it is worth that day. And if almost all of his rentals are short-term, that is Airbnb under 60 days, Sierra doesn't see it as a home anymore. It is now a commercial property like a hotel. A court confirmed this in 2024. A condo owner in Ottawa, long-term rental for 9 years, switched it to Airbnb just for 14 months and then sold the property, and he did not even think HST applied there. Sierra assessed $77,000 plus interest and penalties. He went to appeal at the federal court and the Sierra won again. So let me show you what this could cost John. His property is worth $1 million in January 2025, the time he moved out. So he holds the property for, let's say, 5 years up to 2030, does Airbnb the whole time. And let's assume the property goes up just by $300,000 from $1 million to $1.3 million. And then he sells it. Because the property is now a commercial property, HST is embedded in that number. So you take 1.3 million, divide that by 1.13, the HST factor. That's roughly $150,000 of HST. The buyer is paying $1.3 million for the house. They're not paying $1.3 million plus $150,000 on top. So that $150,000 comes straight out of John's pocket. Now, what did Airbnb actually make him over 5 years? So if he was making $100,000 a year, over 5 years, that's $500,000 gross. After expenses, he netted about $300,000. And because John pays about 45% rate of tax generally, that's about $135,000 of tax. So after tax, after expenses, he's only left with $165,000 over 5 years. But the HST on the sale, that's about $150,000. So if you're basically left with $15,000 over 5 years. That was his net profit. And we haven't even talked about the capital gain on the property. After HST, his net proceeds are $1.15 million. So if the property was worth in January 2025 $1 million, that's only about $150,000 a gain. Sierra is going to tax that too. At roughly 27%, that's another $40,000. So that $15,000 is also gone. He owes more money than he made. When we ran this math together, he just sat there, didn't say anything for a while. He had no idea. And he's not alone. I had another client, same situation, except they had already sold their property. Did Airbnb for years and sold the property. Never knew about any of this. Now they're just hoping Sierra doesn't come looking. That's their plan. Hope. A monkey on their back every day. So if you're in this situation, what do you do? That's the first thing John asked me. And I want to be honest with you the way I was honest with him. We looked at every option. Sell while you're doing Airbnb, that's the worst outcome. The property is commercial, HST applies to the full price. In that case, you're out of pocket $150,000, assuming the numbers are similar to John. Okay, so you stop Airbnb first, get a long-term tenant, or you move back yourself and then sell it. Sounds like it should fix it. But the tax law has a trap for both of those. The moment you make that switch, CRA treats it as if you sold a property again, and whatever it is worth that day, that's another $150,000 in HST. So you haven't actually sold anything and you don't have the cash, but you've actually created the same tax just sooner and you have no money to pay for it. So that puts you in a worse position. We looked at mixing long-term and short-term tenants. We looked at transferring a property to a family member. We looked at putting it into a corporation. Every path leads back to the same place. The moment the property changes from commercial to residential or from commercial to personal, a rule fires back and the tax hits. There's no clean way out, not one that's been tested, not one that CRA has signed off on, and not one that a court has approved. And that's what makes this so unfair. These rules don't just catch you on the way in, they trap you on the way out every direction you turn, and there's a tax event just waiting for you. The only thing a professional can do is to look at your specific facts, figure out the least costly path for your situation. The timing matters, the type of property matters, your personal circumstances matter. These are gray areas in the tax law that might create an opening depending on your facts. But that's a conversation, not a template that you can apply. Do not try to figure this out on your own. Take it to someone who works in this area, someone who looks at your facts, your timeline, your rental history, and tell you what the real options are. There are two completely tax systems at play here, the Income Tax Act and the Excise Tax Act. Most accountants work in only one. You need to know someone that understands both, or work with both of them that understand one each, because it is the intersection where people get caught. The sooner you have that conversation, the more options you have. Because these rules were written over 30, 40 years ago for hotels, for commercial buildings, not for someone who's renting their home on an app that didn't exist. Nobody in the government has updated these rules, and Airbnb is not going to warn you either. They're sending everything to CRA while telling you they'll handle your taxes. Nobody tells you any of this until it's too late. Now you know. We're covering this in more detail in an upcoming podcast episode. If this video matters to you, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. And if you've been doing Airbnb for a while and you've never had this conversation with someone who works in this area, have that now before CRA has it with you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.